Good morning. Good morning. Locked out of my own building on President's Day. How funny is that? I didn't even realize today. When you're self employed, you never realize it's a holiday. How funny is that? The rest of us actually work for a living. So, good morning. What I'm going to do, and I hope you all had a wonderful Valentine's Day last week. And I know Kathy and I got out of town and spent the weekend. Hi. And got the weekend at the ocean, the Pacific Ocean. Had a blast. It was amazing. So is Bill Price in the house? He's our guest today. Bill,
I am right here, Brent.
Where are you?
Right in the front row.
Front row. Well, get up here, man. Mr. Bill Price. There he is. I can't see. I don't have my glasses on. Let me put my glasses on. I got them right here. I got them. Put them on. Hey, James just walked in. Bill, look, James just literally walked in the office. Say hi to James.
Hey, James. How you doing, pal?
Bill?
Yeah, he's saying hi to you. We're on live.
What's up, big guy?
Not much, man. Look forward to seeing you guys on March 11th.
Absolutely. We're
baby.
looking forward to coming, man.
It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Okay, I got my... Oh, there you are, Bill. I put my glasses on. I can actually see now. Well, come on over here and stand by me. What am I doing? What is my thing not working? Oh, not that close. We get the 3-foot rule, man. All right, we'll turn around and talk to everyone. So did you have a good weekend, Bill?
I had an awesome weekend down at our Florida house. We head back to Charlotte tomorrow.
Yeah, it must be rough. The Florida house, the Charlotte, North Carolina house. Bill's that kind of guy, everyone. He is a baller and proof that EXP rocks because he's here. So, Bill, before I interview you, what you were doing prior to discovering EXP. You've been with EXP for what, a couple years now? 2 years?
2.5 years.
2.5 years. So what were you doing prior? Tell everyone like a 2-3 minute overview of your life and career, and then we'll dive into EXP and building.
Sure. Quick 2 minutes. So I grew up in New York. I went to University of Connecticut, UConn for undergrad and graduate school. After I graduated, there's really no jobs. I went opened up a Subway sandwich shop. Then I opened up 2 more. So we had 3 Subway sandwich shops. And then I opened up a nightclub, and I opened up an Irish pub. And then about 2001, moved down to
Charlotte. Time out. Yep. So you went from Subway sandwiches to nightclubs and Irish pubs. I think this is funny. Now tell everyone how big your nightclub and Irish pub was, and what did that look like?
So the nightclub was 4 bars under one roof. So we had like a martini bar, a Fat Tuesdays, like frozen drinks, sports bar with live music, and dance club. So, I mean, it was big. It was 20,000 square feet, 4 levels, held about 2,000 people legally.
That's a bigger bar than most of us are used to. Okay, so you did that, and then what? I interrupted you. Sorry.
No problem. And then moved to Charlotte, North Carolina, and still had the nightclubs. But down in Charlotte opened up at the time 6 curves for women. At the time, back in 2003 or 4, probably 4, they were the #1 female fitness center in the country. So I got in at the right time.
Yeah, I totally remember curves. I think everybody does here. So you're an entrepreneur, man. Subways, nightclubs, curves, 6 curves. So then what?
Then I always liked real estate. I was like trolling like, realtor.com or whatever, and just looking at houses for sale. So I decided to get my real estate license. And at one time I had over 200 employees between the nightclub, the Irish pub, and, the fitness centers, and sold everything, got my real estate license in 2007, and been doing real estate ever since.
Wow. 200 employees on the payroll. That's insane.
It's scary. That's what it was. Scary, Brent.
It was scary. Okay. And so you get into real estate, and did you take to it like a fish to water, or did you struggle at first?
My first 6 months, I struggled. I sold 1 piece of property, it was land, to a good friend. And I said, wow, what am I doing? And then I just said, okay, I need to take everything I did in the nightclub business and just be a guerrilla marketer and just take it to the real estate side of it.
Wow. So for everyone listening, here's someone who had 200 employees and he sells 1 home in 6 months. So If you think there's something wrong with you, there's nothing wrong with you. You just got to learn how to do it. And so you got serious. You shifted gears. You went next level. And then within 2, 3, 4 years, how many homes were you selling a year in Charlotte?
So it jumped pretty quick. My next 6 months, I sold 5.2 million, and a lot of it has to do with I just started farming the community I worked in. I had a big old Hummer. I wrapped it with my ugly head on it, and I had
Nice.
a pricelessexperience.com on it. It was pretty obnoxious. Everyone. Then I started playing golf every Wednesday and poker every Wednesday night. Started doing, the flyers in the mailboxes, started sponsoring everything in that community, the Easter egg hunt, the member golf tournament, New Year's Eve party, whatever it was. I wanted to make sure everyone knew I was the realtor for that neighborhood. And we had about 1,000 homes. So I knew there's opportunity to grow there. And that's kind of what kicked off my real estate career.
What's the saying? There's riches in the niches. So in Charlotte, how many people live in Charlotte, North Carolina, overall mass population?
Oh, God, I don't know, millions, right? Probably 4 million. But you asked me about sales. My 2000, I would say for about an 8-year period, I sold on average close to 60 homes a year.
And you made a decent income doing that. What did you make a year doing that? 5, 6, 700,000 a year? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. That would be about what I would think. Same with me. And so we're doing that. Life's great. It's all we know. We're happy. And along comes EXP 2.5 years ago. You watched that webinar like everybody in this audience. And what did you what clicked with you when you saw the webinar, other than you wanted to meet me and either rip my head off or this thing better be real type thing? What clicked for you when you saw it?
Well, I kind of went in reverse, right? Once I saw the webinar, I said, okay, well, is that Keller Williams? And I was tired of giving them X amount of dollar a year, and I got recruited over to a discount firm that was $400 a transaction, but I was capped at like 7,500. So I negotiated very low cap. Because I looked at the guy, I said, listen, if I sell 60 homes a year and I pay you $400 a transaction, that's 24 grand, I might as well just stay at Keller Williams. So he gave me a sweet deal. So I was pretty happy where I was. But then when I saw, it was actually your presentation, I said, wow, Glenn Sanford actually made a brokerage firm, created a brokerage firm that is really targeted for the agent. I felt like every other brokerage firm I was at was really built for the owner of that brokerage firm or the franchisee of the brokerage firm. I thought, I saw EXP, I was like, wow, this is a first opportunity that we can grow. And what really stood out for me, Brent, was the virtual world that made it really efficient, right? And if we're fast and efficient and we don't have to waste time going in to see our broker in charge who's never there, who's always in a team meeting, or you have to wait 2 hours to see him, if I can save time, I can be more efficient. And if we're more efficient, we're more productive, which basically means we're going to sell more houses, which means we're going to make more money. And I remember my wife and I started traveling after we went to EXP, because we could afford it, to Europe. And I would never tell any of my clients I was going away, and they would not know, because if I had an issue, I could go right into the virtual world and get help like instantly. So that was big. And then the other thing that stood out, I like the stock, because if I sell some stock, I sell some houses, I get stock awarded to me as a gift for free. I like that. Then the revenue share. So those are 3 things: the efficiency of the world, the stock, and the revenue share that brought me over.
What if you could put your finger on one thing, what had you most excited? Was it all 3, or was there one thing?
The revenue share stood out because I looked at my wife, and she's like, where are you going? You're at this small firm. You're best friends with the owner. You're the number one guy over there. You're not going to go anywhere. I was like, no, I'm going to go, because with this revenue share, I said, if I attract 5 agents a year and they all just attract 1, so they grossly underperform me, but that will basically be $14,000 a year from the 5 I attract. And the one that they attract, that would be, 5 agents. That's another 16,000. That's 30,000 a year. I said, that's 2,500 a month. It's life changing for so many agents. And I looked at her. I said, in 2 years, if I just attract 10 people, they all attract 1, and they all sell about 2.5 million, I'm going to be making an extra 5,000 a month. And it took my mom to to get that kind of pension. She was an eighth grade English teacher. Took her 25 years to get that $60,000 a year in a pension. And I said, we can do this at EXP in 2 easy years.
So you've been here 2.5 years. How many people have you sponsored?
I sponsored 37 people total.
Awesome. So you get the 6 levels. 40 is the 7th level. That is awesome. And then, so 37, congratulations. And then, how big is your group? Do you have 200 people, 300 people,
1,100.
What?
1,100.
Oh, 1,100. Wow. I had no idea. Of course, I'm kidding. I love to do softball pitches on this show. I should call this a softball program. So did you expect 2.5 years ago that you would be sitting here with 1,100 broker and agent associates within your sales organization? You just think, yeah, I'll have 1,100 in just over 2 years.
No, never thought that. My goal was, if I could keep duplicating what I said before, attract 5 agents every year, and they all attract 1, then it's something where, like, wow, I could be making, an extra $100,000 a year after 5 years. That was my goal. I never thought it would grow so quickly.
Wow. So I'll tell you this, once you unlock that 7th level, Bill, that the 1,100 agents will make you about $750,000 a year, which is a wee bit more than 100,000 a year. So congratulations to you.
Am I allowed to share what I made last year in revenue share?
James gave us the nod. So the Wizard of Oz is back there behind the curtain, said yes.
Okay, it was right at 500,000.
So your year 2,
Yep.
when you want to make 100,000 a year within 5 years, the end of your second year, you earn 500,000 outside of real estate commissions and all that.
Exactly.
That's pretty awesome, man. The cool thing is, in real estate, we get up to where we'd earn $1 million a year. Lots of us made $1 million a year, but every year we had to recreate that, go get all the same clients again, or clients like those clients. Most were wonderful. There's always 20%. You hope you never see them again, and you don't put them in your database because they are crazy. And, and so every year now, this year, you're starting with over 1,000 agents, 1,100. And you'll end the year probably with 2,000, 2,500. And you're actually building something, not just a sales guy. So congratulations, Bill. You worked your tail off. You deserve it.
Listen, I appreciate that. And what you just said, every year as a realtor, we have to recreate something. And I still sell real estate, okay? I mean, I did go from, selling 20 million a year to 8 million a year, but I have a team. I give them a lot of my business. And I'm building this organization. And the best analogy I can come to with real estate, because I still sell it, I still love it. But the hard part is, once you're at a level when you're selling 10, 20 million a year, you're on that hamster wheel. You never get off. And the best analogy I can think of is, if you're at the beach and you see these kids, they spend, hours building this super sandcastle, like a medieval town. And then what happens? High tide washes it all away, and they have to start from scratch. And that's how it is in real estate. We work hard from January to December. We have this great, castle built. And December 31st at midnight, what happens? The tide comes in, washes it away. All our business is gone. And we have to start from scratch again and go out there and get buyers and sellers and, build everything up for good sales in the spring and summer.
And we never really thought about it. We just thought, this is the way it is. I'm up for the challenge. This is how I'm going to provide for my family. Let's do it. You just inspired me, Bill. I feel inspired. I feel a wave of inspiration. So Rob, James, they're whispering over here talking. You got to hear this. You got to hear this. Bill, you have brought back a memory of mine that I've not shared in 20 years. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I heard a guy say this. He said, when I was a kid on the beach building sandcastles, Drew, you got to hear this. When I was a kid on the beach building sandcastles, I dreamed about someday I'd see those jets flying overhead. And I dreamed about, God, where are they going? What exotic destinations? And as a kid, I developed a dream to become an airline pilot. And he said, now 25 years later, I'm a captain of American Airlines flying 747 jets. And I'm the guy in that plane. My dream came true. But you know what I dream about now? Being back down on the beach.
Yeah.
Because how wish I could be on the beach with my kids, but I'm too dang busy recreating the income every year, flying these jets all over the place so other people can go on vacation. I totally forgot about that. So thank you for the inspiration. I hope it meant somebody to somebody in the audience. Too funny. Okay, so Bill, we spent the first well, okay, we spent half the time, but you got a great story. I couldn't resist. Last 15 minutes. So, what was it you did when you were new? Like, how did you approach people? What's your whole, not what you do now, but when you were new, think of the first 10 people you sponsored. Were you just so fired up you could say the wrong thing to the right person, just the raw enthusiasm? What made it work for you? The first 10 you sponsored. What did you say? What did you do?
Well, why just tell you that I said all the wrong things right out of the gate because you're so excited about the model, So one thing I learned is you got to know your audience, I was so excited about the stock and the rev share. That's the only thing I was pushing. Well, I realized, that, hey, if you're with a brand new agent, they want to know how they can get leads. They want to know how they can get support. So you make sure you show them the world. You make sure you walk them through the world, introduce them to people, in the transactions department, in the accounting department. Make sure that they feel that they can go get that help. Go to the broker in charge room. Then after that, show them how we get this awesome website and KV Core lead generation. So that's how I approach the new agents now, because we all need new agents. Brent, you were a new agent at one time, and you were a little kitten that didn't know anything, and now you're a beast of an agent, right? So we're always looking for the next Brent Gove. So I don't mind taking new agents on. Now, if I sat down and approached a James Stroop, or Brent Gove, I'd say, okay, listen, you're going to love this model. Let's talk about the stock and the rev share. So you got to know your audience. That's really important. And the way that I started to attract agents, Brent, is I went back to my roots where I had a couple Subway sandwich shops and I couldn't open anymore. The territory was closed. When I had curves, I went and got 6 right away. So I controlled an area. So I said, why don't we start doing lunch and learns? I looked at some leaders in the group and we started doing a lunch and learn that was very positive. And then we started doing lunch and learns 20 minutes east of Charlotte, 20 minutes south of Charlotte, 20 minutes west of Charlotte, downtown Charlotte. And the lunch and learns is really what that spurred the growth for the start anyway in Charlotte.
I love it, man. You are, and you're just kind of you live by your calendar. Is that a fair way to state your life, Bill?
Yeah, and I'm very old school. I do have like old school desk calendar underneath my keyboard, and I write every day what I have to do on it, and I actually take a picture of it, and that's what I refer to. I don't even use like a Google Calendar.
Beautiful. I don't use Google Calendar either. I use the notepad option on my iPhone, so it's with me at all times. And then I have James on that. I have Rob on there. I have my wife on there. And then they get to see if I have to go to the dry cleaner, if I need to go to the bank, if I need to buy a first class ticket to Paris. They get to see all the little things on my to-do list. They try to help me get things done on there. And then commitments, like they can see I'm going to be in Charlotte and Baltimore and Richmond and Orlando and Detroit and Phoenix. They see all that because you can hit share on there, Bill, if you haven't seen that. It's really awesome. It's the yellow notepad feature on an iPhone. It is the coolest thing. You can add people to it. And they can put stuff on your list for you. They can achieve things and take it off. It's kind of a shared task list of commitments. I just kind of invented it. It works great. So, Bill, what advice do you have for people? Like so your advice sounds like I heard you say, help them sell real estate, help them get leads, teach them, train them, add value, because that's amazing for retention. But how do you help them recruit? What do you recommend? If I was brand new, what would you tell me, Bill?
Well, first thing, as we preach all the time, is you make your list. And if you're brand new, you're just going to make a list of all your friends that can connect you with other realtors. If you're a realtor, make a list of every realtor that you ever rubbed elbows with. And write down that list. You'll come up with 50 names before you know it. And start, pick a Friday like you did from, 1 to 5 every Friday. Turn off your phone, the ringer, don't answer your phone, and just go down that list and start calling people and introduce them to, ask them for coffee. I don't ever explain. So you asked me what I did wrong when I first got in EXP. I vomited on everyone over the phone about EXP. Just ask them for coffee, ask them for lunch, and look at them and say, "Oh, you're at ABC Realty. What are the positive things about ABC Realty?" Okay, well, there must be some things that you don't like. What are the things you don't like about at ABC Realty? And then guess what they're going to ask you? They're going to say, "Who are you with now? You're with that EXP company. How is it?" And you're going to tell them all the great things about it, and that's going to spark their interest. So everyone likes to, send a text, send an email. Don't do that. Invest some time. Show them the value of EXP. Just don't try to sell EXP over the phone. You're just like a salesperson. This really changed lives. And Brent, one thing I want to point out to you is when Craig LePage, who introduced me to EXP, him and Shelly, when they invited me out to meet with them for lunch, even after the lunch, I was like, realtor with a big ego. I don't care. We all have big egos. We're realtors, right? And I said, well, of course they want me. And then after being involved for a few months, what I realized? They gave me the biggest gift. They thought about me and gave me the opportunity to look at all the benefits of EXP. And Brent, could you imagine if I didn't take that lunch appointment with Craig and Shelly? It has absolutely changed my life. So everyone who's listening, okay, EXP agent or not, when a friend calls you and tells you about EXP, they are actually thinking of you and your family because EXP does change lives. It's the best brokerage firm to be with, period. It's just my opinion.
That's beautiful. So just for fun, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, what do you see your business looking like? Are you going to be in the next 10 years, we should be in about 30 additional countries. Where do you see how many agents do you see in your organization? How many countries have you thought about the next 5 to 10 years, Bill?
Yeah, so I'm lucky enough on my level 3. I have Barry Pulver. My buddy Rich recruited Barry, who recruited Adam Day. And now, I have 54 agents in England, and we have some in Ireland. And Barry this week is over in Scotland introducing EXP to Scotland. I envision myself to be well over, 5,000 agents in my downline. I envision myself spending time in, England or Scotland or maybe Ecuador, right? We have someone right now trying to open up Ecuador or Australia, wherever it may be. But I see myself in another country spending a lot of time there because I have a decent organization and building that country as best as I can.
You said in about 5 years?
Yeah, I hope it happens next year, but if you say in the next, at the end of 5 years, where do you think I'll be? And I think the biggest thing, Brent, is support. When I bring agents over, I support them. I didn't do it at first, and most of us are guilty of not supporting right away. So many people just like, you're trained just to be successful and bring as many people on as you can. I would say bring people on, but you better teach them how to sell real estate. You better answer their call. You better help them with leads. You better help them, teach them how to farm, teach them how to do open houses, whatever help they need. If they're a seasoned agent, you better teach them the value of how to sit down and actually introduce EXP the right way. And how about this? How about get plugged in? Brent Gove, if I miss one of your events, it's because of a wedding or a death in the family. Okay.
Yeah.
And I tell everyone there's 4 events a year that you better never miss. It's the 2 Brent Gove events. Sometimes he has 3. It's the EXP Con and it's the shareholders. People have to get plugged in, Brent. Think about this, Brent. All the people that are really successful at RevShare, we see them all the time. We always see you, and we see AJ Maida, and we see Craig and Shelly. We see Jake Kinder. We see Pat Hayes. We see Jeff Williams. We see Scott Lewis. We see Rob Flick. We see Gene Frederick. We see Wilco. And I could keep going on. But these people we see all the time at every event. And guess who are the most successful at it?
Yep. I tell you what, my first year, I never missed a thing, and my business exploded. James, have we ever missed an event in 3? Never, not one. And Bill, you're the same way. You're a beast. By the way, everybody's online. I want you to look at your upper left-hand corner. You got that little go-to thing. Yep. Click on go-to, and there's the drop-down boards. And Bill had mentioned earlier Go around the world and explore it. So you have the welcome area, the auditorium, the EXP main office. Once you click on the go-to area, accounting, agent experience, growth and affiliation, brokerage operations, Canadian. Everyone click on Canadian. There's a little arrow and boom, Canadian auditorium, Canadian meeting 1, meeting room 2, meeting room 3, the lobby, self-help. Go down to UK, the UK operations, the bottom arrow, UK main auditorium, main office, UK meeting room. Did you think you'd have 60 agents that are going to turn into 600, that are going to turn into 6,000, take you into Scotland and Ireland and across Europe? Did you think that would happen 2 years ago when you signed up, Bill?
Never ever thought of it. Never thought of it. And like I mentioned, Ecuador. I have a guy in my downline, Guillermo Torres, and he wants to open Ecuador. And it makes a lot of sense because guess what? They have MLS. Their second language is English, and they use American dollar.
There you go. There you go. So everybody, when you go to, hit that arrow. It's going to give you the EXP main office and all this stuff. Pull the bar down. At the bottom, you're going to see private teen suites. You can get your own teen suite in the EXP world, teen suites demo room, and fun places. And so make sure that you're going around and checking out the beach, the boat landing, the lighthouse, the soccer field. Go up to meeting rooms at the top. It says meeting rooms. Click that arrow. Look at this. I Heart EXP Auditorium, meeting room 1 through meeting room 9, Power Girls Auditorium, Project Team Room 1 through 5, the Red Hall where we are now, meeting rooms 10 through 20. I've been in every single room, every single department, like payment processing, human resources. What is that? Go meet the over 700 employees that work in the world and say, who are you and how do you help agents? And be polite, professional, and talk to them for a minute, not an hour. But learn, this is your world. It's not what's going on. This is yours. We own it with you. Do you even know your office? Do you know your way around the world? Do you even know what's available to you? So it's pretty cool to be able to do this, for sure. A little feedback. Hey, by the way, if everyone can mute your mics, that'd be great. We don't have a little feedback. But Brent Shields, I'm always standing here and I see people in the audience. I see you there, Brent, and Brian Alexander from Reno. I'm just going to call out a few of you that I see. Daniel from Dallas-Fort Worth. I got David out in Colorado Springs, Colorado. Jeff DeGray is in the house. He promised me he'd be here. Jeff Sanchez. I don't mean Joseph Lamb in San Jose, California. We got Kevin in Pittsburgh. And then Marguerite Crispello's in here today. What a rock star. We've interviewed Marguerite before. Amazing. We got Phyllis out in Houston. Hey, Phyllis. Ray Meyer, the man himself from Fresno, California, man. Tahoe Tony's in here. Incline Village. There are legendary stars in here. Trish from Boulder, Colorado, and a lot more. But I see you guys when my speakers are talking. I sit here and look around the room and I look at your names. Like Don Gomez is in the back. He thinks he's being all low key, and that he brought 20 agents over from an independent firm in Raleigh, North Carolina. Don's in the back here, and he's signing up agents in New York. So it's pretty cool. But any parting words today for everyone, Bill, of like if they're really wanting a breakthrough and they're wanting to make this thing happen, what would be some of your final thoughts for them just to kind of get that breakthrough, to start sponsoring like Wild Men, Wild Women? You know, at 211, the water's just really hot. At 212, it converts to steam and will power an engine. You know, what is your advice?
So, you know, author Brian Carruthers says, you know, when it comes to introducing a new opportunity to people, you have to have tough skin, okay? You got to be able to handle rejection, because every person you're going to call, they're going to say, hey, I'm happy where I'm at, you know, and say, well, you know, I was happy where I was at too, but, you know, I took the time to sit down and have coffee and look at an opportunity, and it changed my life. I'm glad I did. You know, it's kind of like you look at them like, well, every 5 years you upgrade, you know, to a new vehicle, a new car, right? Well, you know, every, you know, so many years you should look at an opportunity to upgrade your career. And, you know, that's what we're offering. That's what we're giving. But do not let, you know, 5 no's keep you down. I remember, Brent, a year and a half ago, I'm sitting with AJ Maida, and we have our list, and we're calling some people. And you know what? AJ looked and he said to me, he said, Bill, I'll race you right now today to 9 no's. I said, what do you mean? He's like, Bill, we know if we call 10 people, someone's going to be excited. They're going to wind up joining EXP. So, and if, let's say if it's worth 10 grand to us, every no we get is worth $1,000. So let's race to 9 no's. And that's a great way to look at it, Brent. Like it's okay. It's not like, everyone's going to want to switch their careers and come over to EXP, but eventually they're going to call us. It's not, if, it's when. And, so I always laugh at that when AJ said, let's race to 9 no's first, because the 10th one's going to be a yes. And if people say no to you, that they're not interested to meet you for coffee and talk about the opportunity, don't let it bring you down. It's okay. Keep positive and keep moving forward. Do not be stagnant.
I love it, Bill. I love it. Well, dude, you are a rock star. Sorry, my mic was muted. But hey, I want to, Bill, can you stick around for a few minutes and chat with people and answer questions?
Sure.
Okay, so James, is that something I can mention or not? Okay, so we're going to put up on the schedule. If you guys go to BrentGoveResources.com, you're going to find out that in 5 minutes we're going to post where I'm going to be in Las Vegas this Thursday. I'm doing a large meeting, EXP Explained. Am I going to do an agent attraction boot camp afterwards? No, just the meeting, EXP Explained in Las Vegas this Thursday, because I'm going to be at Grant Cardone all weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sharpening my blade. I'll be in Reno, though, the following week on the 26th. It's all there in BrentGoveResources.com. You click on the Where's Brent, the red button. In March, I'm going to be in Baltimore on the 9th, Richmond on the 10th, March 11th, Charlotte with Bill. And how many people are we expecting on the 11th there, Bill, to come? You can have 100, 200 people there? How many?
No, we'll have over 200, 250, definitely.
Nice. And then in Orlando on Thursday, Detroit on Friday, Dallas on Saturday. All the details are getting posted this week. By Friday, we'll actually have the details of all those up by Friday, exactly where. They're pretty much, except for Orlando, most of them are lunch and learn from noon to 1 to 3 by an agent attraction boot camp. Orlando's the only one that is different. Tony Robbins in Fiji. Basically, I'm going out there with my wife for 10 days. Going to have fun there. Then in April, it's got the president of EXP in Sacramento, shareholders. In May, Scottsdale. And I want to end it with this. I'm going to be in Scottsdale May 14th, 15th, and 16th. Bill's going to be there. All the leaders, the who's who of EXP. As long as you have sponsored at least 10 or more in your career, they don't have to be 10 active FLQA. If you've sponsored 10 and you have 5 or 7 or 8, you're in. You just have to sponsor 10. These are not FLQAs. As long as you sponsor 10 or more, it's going to be 200, 300, 400 of the who's who of EXP. In Mexico, anyone could be there. This, you have to have sponsored 10. Well, people there have sponsored 20, 30. Bill sponsored 37. Well, people there have sponsored 47. 57, 70, 80. And so pick someone to run with. Pick somebody, maybe Bill inspires you. Compete with him or find somebody. I picked Pat Hayes. Stroop, you think you had about 120 agents when we joined?
Yeah.
And I chose Pat Hayes. I love Pat, but I go, I'm going to pass that sucker. Just in the spirit of good, friendly competition. And I passed Pate. Then I chose Scott and Tracy Lewis. They had about 300 when we joined, and I passed them from, right, Stroop? You and me. We passed them, and now I'm trying to pass Rob or Gene. And I talked to Rob Flick last night. He goes, dude, I'll be there with a bottle of champagne cheering you on. And for anybody out there, we would love for you to pass us, and we will help you do it. Yeah, Bill, do it, man. And so, it's pretty cool. So do not miss Scottsdale High-Level Mastermind, May 14th, 15th, and 16th. You need to sponsor 10. Now, if you sponsored 7 with 3 onboarding, come. We're not going to check your credentials at the door. Okay, and this is not for guests. It is not for guests. These are high-level mastermind. This is the who's who of EXP coming together. It's going to be hardcore. Again, now, of course, in April, if you have the finances, and if you're on the East Coast, you should flat be there. Of course, Disney Coronado Springs Resort in Orlando, EXP shareholders 2020. That's April 20th through 22nd. All East Coasters, you should bring there and bring guests for free. By the way, free guest passes this year at shareholders. Isn't that cool, Bill?
That is awesome. That's a great new rule they instituted.
Absolutely. So, all right. Well, guys, I think this is good. Bill, any final thoughts before we wrap this baby up today?
Yeah. Make sure you get out to Scottsdale and make sure you get out to Dallas. Huge events. I can't wait.
All right. Well, Bill, let's walk down here to the front of the stadium or the front of the room. And so anyone who wants to talk to me or Bill for the next 5 minutes, we'll be around. Come on down here, Bill. And we're going to stick around and just do informal Q&A. If you got to bounce. If you got to go. Love you all. We'll see you next Monday right here at 10:30 to noon. Thank you, Bill. You were a great guest. And have a great day, everyone. And Bill's around to answer questions. So am I. So have at it. Open mic, whoever wants to go first.
Hi, Brent. May I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I don't have right now 10 person to qualify for Scottsdale, but I would like to attend. Can I? Maybe 14.
Is Clara?
15? Yes.
Hi, Clara. I saw you over to my left. So you have to have 10 to come. But let's say you sponsor 5 in March, and then you sponsor 1 or 2 more before the event in April, and you have 2 or 3 onboarding. You can come as long as if they've made application, we'll let you count it. You've got 10. So some people in faith, you like I'm gonna register. I'm gonna do it. So it's up to you. But you got to sponsor 10 to come, Clara. And if you have nobody, that's a big jump. I mean, if you've got 5, you should register. You can easily get 5 in the rest of February, the month of March, and the first week or 2 or 2 weeks of April. Okay. So did I answer the question, Clara?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? Oh, I saw a hand over here. Yeah, Brian.
I'm having a great deal of trouble getting a second person in. I think I'm doing everything according to the book.
Okay, and you're having a hard time signing somebody up. So what you got to do is what I found when people are having a hard time getting people signed up is they're not getting them on the phone with their upline, their sponsor, and they're not doing the magic move, which is book a meeting from a meeting. Never leave them without the next appointment booked. And sometimes I get ghosted too. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But if you give them homework, here, watch this webinar, show this webinar to your spouse, show this to your best friend. Let's circle back this Friday. I want you to meet Sheila Faison. I want you to meet Brent Gove. I want you to meet Bill Price. I had 6 luxury agents in Newport Beach, and they want to talk to somebody who sells luxury. Well, that's not me. So I got them on the phone with Chuck Keller in Beverly Hills. Chuck's been here 4 years. He sponsored 33 people. He has 880 in his organization. He really said he's never tried to sponsor people. He literally said, I'm going to get serious about sponsoring. But Chuck Keller sells, $1 to $5 million properties. He's not in my group, but I asked him, hey, would you be willing to talk to these agents from Newport Beach who list very expensive homes? He did. We had a great talk. They all onboarded last Friday. This next Friday, I'm flying to Newport Beach, kickoff Newport Beach EXP grand opening celebration with a lunch and learn and an agent attraction boot camp. So it's pretty cool. We probably won't call it an agent attraction boot camp in Newport Beach. We'll just call it a new agent launch or something. You got to be careful. But just keep working at it, Ryan. You're new. You'll figure it out.
Am I in Bill Price's group under you?
No, you are not. But
Okay.
You can reach out to Bill. He'll help you. People call me. I call people. Chuck Keller's not my group. So if you have a question for Bill, you can reach him offline or whatever. If you have a question for him now, go ahead. Any other questions for Bill or me, guys?
Just put my cell phone in the chat, so if anyone wants to call me for any kind of future help, feel free.
Wow, there it is, 704-287-0618, chat bar on the left. What a stud, Bill. You are such a rock star. One team, one dream. We help each other, guys. Anybody else before Bill and I bounce out of here today? All right, we are gone. We'll see you next Monday right here, 11:30 a.m. Love you all. Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
All the best. Bye-bye.